Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time we have the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Homecoming Spider-Man figure from the Vulture Wings Build-A-Figure wave. Going over the packaging here, standard packaging. For Marvel Legends, you got the blue background, considering this is a movie figure. And then on the side, you do have an image of Spider-Man. On the back, another image of the figure, as well as the rest of the assortment, with the Build-A-Figure being the flight gear for Vulture. So going over this figure, this was a figure that I wasn't looking forward to, really, because it just, I thought it was just going to be a repaint of the 3-pack Spider-Man that came out in Civil War. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I thought that the new paint job looked nice as far as it was brighter, which is more accurate to the movie, so I was happy about that. But I wasn't really excited for the figure very much because I had something that was so similar. To my surprise, it is like completely different, you know. That is just, that's mainly what I'm going to be talking about in this video, is just doing a lot of comparisons with the new one versus the old one, because it is really almost a completely new sculpt, which is very unique and interesting and unexpected. But just starting off quickly here, just to give you a good look at the figure. As you can see, very nice. You do have sculpting work throughout it. Of course, all the lining is actually sculpted in there. And then in the actual red suit and blue, you have tremendous texture. It is all textured, which is awesome. So I really do love that. Excellent detail there. Marvel Legends seems to be getting really nice when it comes to texturing their figures, at least the movie figures. They don't really do it much for comics, but for the movie figures, like I just got Nebula textured beautifully. You know, they're really doing a great job with that, so I am quite happy. Does look excellent, and I do like these big eyes. He of course has two head sculpts. One is this one where the eyes are larger, and then he comes with another set where the eyes are smaller. Unfortunately, with this other head sculpt where the eyes are smaller, the paint looks a little bit odd. It kind of has more of a grayish hue to it, while this one is a little more brighter, like the torso. This one kind of has the more of his kind of arms that have some gray in them. Unfortunately, especially on this arm, there's just a ton of gray. Yeah, they really messed up with the paint here. You know, I don't know if they were going for a bit of shading or something, but it didn't turn out nicely. So I'm not a big fan of that, and you do kind of have that going on in the head sculpt there with the eyes that are closed a bit more. But I do love the fact that you do get two sets of heads specifically, so that you can kind of change the expression there. They're both cool, but I do like the open ones a lot better, especially since the Civil War one has, you know, eyes that are a little more closed, similar to that secondary head sculpt. So it is nice to change it up a bit. Let's get right into the comparison. Here he is with the Civil War Spider-Man, and they are different. I think that the legs are the same and the arms are the same. The torso is completely different, though. As you can see, he has a much wider torso, which is odd. I'm not 100% sure why they needed to do that. I don't really see an issue with the first torso, but this new one I do still think looks good. The head sculpts are completely different as well, and as you can see, the eyes are very different. Like with this one, you get really small set of eyes, then the Civil War one's more medium, and then you get another larger set. So you do kind of have a nice array of the eye sculpts. I would imagine you can switch out these heads, but considering their paint is a bit different, it would look a little odd. But as you can see, I mean, these really do look like very different Spider-Mans, specifically just because of the paint. The lighter blue and a bit of the red just makes all the difference, and of course, this is more accurate to Civil War and Spider-Man Homecoming. This darker shade, he doesn't wear in Civil War, so it's a shame that they actually did that to the figure, considering it's just not accurate at all. But overall, I do like the brighter one a lot better, just in general, and because it's more accurate. And then you do have lining in the blue, and all of the texture on this one is not on this one. This one doesn't have that texture, so it is a completely new sculpt, actually, but the arms and legs really maintain the same design other than the lack of texture. But then the torso obviously changes its design and it adds texture, so there's big differences there, as well as you can see, the spider symbol is different at the front, and on the back it's different as well, so completely different. I guess that's why they needed to change the torso, specifically for the spider symbols. Even though I think that in the movies, from Civil War to Homecoming, the spider symbols stay the same, if I'm not mistaken. They should, at least. So, yeah, that is kind of interesting that is the case. You do get some interchangeable hands with him. He has a pair of fists, which he has on right now. They're in there pretty good. And then he does come with interchangeable web shooting hands, which is nice. Obviously, those are necessary. The other hands that I think are pretty necessary for a Spider-Man figure are kind of the climbing up walls, the hands that are just kind of like this. I do really enjoy those hands that they usually come with the comic figures, and unfortunately they don't come with the movie ones, and I would have definitely liked those. Usually I use them specifically while on display with those hands because they just come in handy in just about every position. So it is a shame that he doesn't come with those. However, a pair of fists and a pair of web shooting hands is pretty needed, so I am happy that he does come with these. He also comes with the wing pieces to kind of give him that winged look, so let me get those on him. So here he is with the webbing. As you can see, it's kind of a nice feature. He does use this in the movie. He doesn't use it much though, but it is still nice that he does come with it. It does attach to his bicep, which I do find unfortunate because I'd like to rotate the biceps out a bit actually to give him more of a different style pose where he has his arms pointed up a bit more, and you really can't do that because it's attached to his bicep. It would have been better if it was attached to the side of his torso. That would have left little holes on his torso though, so I do understand they're wanting to put it on the biceps, but overall it does look nice. It does just peg in via a very small little hole, so I could see it bumping out quite easily. I have to say this is actually the first time I've used them because as soon as I took this figure out of package, one of the web things just kind of shot out of package once I took the figure out, landed on the floor, and I couldn't find it for like 5 days. I just found it last night, so you know, I haven't really been able to do anything with these web pieces, but it is nice that he does include them. I don't think they're 100% necessary. I would have almost preferred to trade them out for like webs, like a hand that was shooting a web. I think that would have been a lot cooler. Even the little spider drone that is from his chest piece, I think that would have kind of been cool. These are nice, you know, additions, but I don't find them necessary. A Tom Holland head sculpt, of course, would have been great as well, but obviously that's coming in the 2-pack. As far as articulation goes, it's the same as the last Spider-Man figure. He's got ball hinge neck, as you can see, can look up fantastic amount and down a fantastic amount. He does have a butterfly joint, which can go in and out, goes out pretty far. It doesn't go in that far, but it still is something. Ball hinge shoulders to the biceps, swivel, double hinge elbows, hinge swivel wrist. He's got an ab crunch, which can go down very far, can go back pretty far. Swivels at the waist. He's got a ball jointed hip, which can go out a nice amount. It doesn't go to the side very far, but it is something. Swivel at the thighs, double hinge knees, hinge pivoting ankles. The hinge pivots up that far and down this far, so a decent amount. So overall, he does have very nice range. For a Spider-Man figure, you can really do, you know, all the type of extreme poses that you could basically want. So really do like this Spider-Man figure. I think that it is a huge improvement over the Civil War one as far as looks and function. I mean, it has a lot more texture in the suit. It comes with more accessories. The color scheme is not only better, but it's more accurate. It's better in every way. Now, if you have the Civil War one and you're not like a big fan of Spider-Man, you don't really need this one. This is more of just you know, it's better, but it's not needed, I'd say. If you do have like a nice MCU collection though, this is definitely going to be worth it for you. I will say that it's much better than I expected. Again, I was expecting more of just a better repaint. I didn't really think that there would be anything newly sculpted other than the head sculpts that had bigger eyes. I thought that the figure itself though would be exactly the same, and I was completely wrong. So it is definitely a lot better than I thought it was going to be, so that is very nice to see. Again, wish that he came with a Tom Holland head sculpt. I think it's, you know, it's crappy for them to keep it in the 2-pack so that you're more enticed to buy that 2-pack, even though the 2 figures in it are just repainted figures. I think that's a little ridiculous, but what are you gonna do? Overall, solid figure. It still could be improved via the accessories. However, the figure itself, I think, is pretty spot on. Doesn't really have much room for improvement, which is nice. So there you go. That's my video review of the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Homecoming Spider-Man figure from the Vulture Flight Gear Build-A-Figure wave. Let me know what you guys think of this figure, and thanks so much for watching.